Can you really build a business without putting any money into it? Like, this is the question that a lot of people ask. Even in the Google search, a lot of people are typing, how can I start a business without any investment? Okay, now that is, it's more like a fool's paradise, okay? It's never going to happen, because if you have to grow a business, then there is going to be investment. It's like when you plant a seed, only from that seed can you expect the tree to grow. And in most cases, the seed can be an idea, it can be an investment of time, investment of money. There should be something that you put into it. And money is also a very important critical component to get things done. But if you're able to understand this game, you can really move forward much fast. Okay, so I'm going to be getting into this particular video where I'll talk about what does it take and what all would be the actual expenses if you have to start a digital business from scratch. Ready to learn this? Take notes and let's jump in. Hey there, Siddharth Rajak here. Thank you so much for actually coming and watching this video, where I'm going to answer the question is, how much should I actually invest in starting up a digital business? And more specifically, a knowledge business in digital space, a digital coaching business. Because if you're looking at a traditional business, which involves space, which involves people, which involves infrastructure costs, I mean, those costs can go to a whole different level, depending on the nature of the business. If you're into a manufacturing company and stuff, you'll have to invest crores and crores of rupees to just set up the infrastructure before you can start to make any money. If you're into, let's say, a franchise business, you still have to pay a franchise fee, and the whole break-even point will happen only after a few years. Okay. Now, I'm not talking about any of those businesses. I'm talking about a knowledge business where you can sit at home and you can start a business in the next 90 days, following the system, which I already have. More than 10,000 people are actually following that system. So, what is the formula for that, and what would be the expenses for that? So the first thing is, like I mentioned earlier, is if you treat this like a business, it will treat you back like a business. If you treat this like a hobby, it will treat you back like a hobby. So you cannot think that that everything is free. Okay, there's nothing free. There's no free lunch in this world. Okay, now if you're somebody who has a lower budget, you'll have to put more time. If you have somebody who has more time, or you have more budgets, then you can save more time. Okay, so let me repeat that. If you are somebody who has less budget, then you'll have to put more time. If somebody has more budget, then you can save that time and you can put the money to work for you. Okay, so let's look at what are the most essential factors of launching a digital coaching business if you're starting from scratch from an investment and expenses perspective. Okay, now the first thing that you'll ever need when you're starting off a knowledge business, you will need to have an online presence. Forget about getting the payment gateway and all that stuff for people to pay you. You need to be having a presence online. So having a basic blog and a website, having your branding elements, and having a decent photo shoot of yourself where you can actually use those photographs on your website to build that personal connect with your audience is very important. Those are like the basic, expenses. In fact, I'll not use the word expenses. Let's use the word investments. Okay, because an expense is something that goes out, and investment is something that you're going to make because you're going to get returns from it. Okay, so the first investment you got to make is in your digital branding. Okay, your website setup. And again, websites range from, you can build a website for on your own for free, or you could even build a website for 5 lakh rupees. There is a whole range in website development from 5,000 rupees to 50,000 rupees to 5 lakh rupees. But actually, if you look at it in today's day and age, you don't have to go so big. You can just go plug and play using WordPress. There are so many themes available and you can get started. And if you're a part of my community, as a part of my hackathon, in fact, I build a website in 30 minutes and I make people build their own website. And if they're not able to build it, I have a support system where they get it outsourced by other freelancers. Okay. So the first investment you got to make is in your online presence. Now, setting up your social media channels, all of that stuff is free anyway. You don't need to really invest in that. Now, the core of your business is going to be your email list. Everybody thinks that, if I have a lot of followers on social media, that's great. But you know what? I know many big influencers. They have a lot of followers, but they don't have an email list. Now, why is email list important? Because that is where the actual conversions happen. When you have an email list which you can correspond with, and email is very personal as compared to social. Social is very public. Email only you open and you see what is there, and people think that email is dying, email open rates are going down. No. See, even to open a Facebook account, even to open a new Instagram account, you need an email ID. So email ID is never going to go. Okay. So email is like the core of your business, is the core, and you need to have an email marketing tool. Now, there are many tools out there in the market, MailChimp and then Aweber and GetResponse. The one which I'm using is ConvertKit. Okay, in fact, you can go and test drive. You can set up a free account on ConvertKit by using this link, sidz.co/ConvertKit, ConvertKit. There's a link there. Just go check it out. Okay, go and play around. Up to 1,000 leads you can have for free, and after that they'll start billing you $29 per month, $30 per month. You can start off, and that is an essential element that needs to be there. Okay. So email is the next investment that you got to make. Then what is the next investment that you got to make is, now if you're selling your knowledge, you need to have besides your online presence and the email system, you need to have a place where your students can actually congregate. You need to have a members area. And for a members area, if people are just starting off, I recommend them you go with a basic Teachable account. There's a tool called Teachable. In fact, you can go and test drive that. Go to sidz.co/teachable and go check it out. That's where I load all my courses. There are many other alternatives, but I like Teachable because it's they've got the highest user base in the world, very user friendly, easy to use, and it's solid. It never ever had any issue with video streaming or any kind of problems there. Customer support is fantastic. Okay, so you need to have a learning management system or a members area, which is the other tool you would need. And besides that, you also need to have a tool which can where you can actually track all the stuff that's happening. Okay, so for example, I use a tool called ClickMagic, where I track all my different clicks and all the promotional things that I'm doing. And okay, so even that I would say it'll come as an optional. When you're starting off, you may not need that, but later on when you're doing multiple other things, you need to have a tracking system. Okay, but besides the learning management system, you need to have something where you can really create a connection with your audience. And what is that tool? Here's a tool. I use a tool called Mighty Networks. You can even start that for free. Okay, it's a social networking tool for all my paid members. So my learning management system is where they learn, and my social network is where they actually engage and interact. And when it comes to the sales process, how are you going to get the customers? You need to have some basic lead generation tools. Now, if you're using ConvertKit, I tell all my students, you can start using ConvertKit's landing pages itself. That's very good. But if you want to have like multiple steps and funnels and things like that, then I recommend ClickFunnels. Okay, I use ClickFunnels. So if you're like at the basic level where you're on a shoestring budget and you don't want to really invest too much based on your cash flow situation, start off with a ConvertKit account, start off with a Teachable account. These two are more than enough. Okay, and then of course you need to have Zoom for conducting your webinars to sell your products. Okay, there's another tool called Demio. You can go to sidz.co/Demio, which is a very awesome tool for conducting webinars. Very similar cost as Zoom, but it has some very good marketing features. Very easy, user friendly, easy to use. Okay, so when you have ConvertKit, Teachable, and Demio, those are the main tools for you to launch your business. Besides your website that you already have, you need to have the basic hosting. Okay, as you're upgrading yourself in the business, then you can upgrade to ClickFunnels, you can upgrade to ClickMagic, you can upgrade to so many other tools. I have a whole list of more than 25 tools. In fact, there's a video on my YouTube. Just search for top tools Siddharth Rajshekar. You'll find my entire list of tools. I think more than 25 tools I've given in one more video. Okay, so the whole approach to the game. Now the next point you'll ask me is, okay, how much should I spend per month? So if you're starting off from the scratch, like you don't have anything right now, so basic ConvertKit account will be free, but let's say you're going to be spending that $30 per month. Teachable and $40 per month, so $70 there. And then let's say you have one more tool, let's say Demio, you're going to be spending another $50 per month. So 30 plus 40 plus 50 is how much? We got 70 plus 50 is around 120. So maybe on the top side, $150 per month. 10,000 rupees per month if you're in Indian rupees, less than 10,000 rupees, okay, to start with. Okay, now if you cannot afford 10,000 rupees per month, and if you're thinking, okay, I have to spend 10,000 rupees per month, then I'll tell you business is not for you. Because 10,000 rupees per month is, I would say, 1 lakh rupees per year. If you step into business, you got to start thinking in terms of how can I make that 1 lakh rupees in tools expenses into 10 lakh rupees in terms of revenues, because you're going to use those tools to get more customers, to get more revenues. Okay, so it should not become like a chicken and egg story, saying that let me make the money first, then I'll put it into the tools. It does not work that way. You have to invest in the tools first, and only then you can start to grow your business, because once you're able to have the system set up, only then you have something to sell. Okay, it's like saying that why can I sell all my products without having a shop? You need to have a shop. so that people can see what is there inside your shop and they can see the products inside your shop and then they can buy what is there. Can you say something like, okay, let people buy my products, then I'll open my shop? That's stupidity, right? And that's the mindset that most people have in this game. They think that everything is free. You first teach me how to make money, then I will set up all the things. That is total stupidity. And I'm here to tell you that if you have been thinking that way, it's time to rethink it. Okay, but you can start with the basics. The basic will start with from 7 to 10,000 rupees per month, and then it can go all the way up depending on how your business is growing. Okay, like for me at this point, my tools cost itself comes to 2 lakhs to 3 lakh rupees per month, because I'm playing in that scale of the game where I have so many connections happening and I'm getting at least 10-20x in terms of ROI. Okay, whatever I'm putting into my tools. So I'm here to tell you that this game of your knowledge business and investing in tools and building the business and building it with the right mindset, understanding expenses versus investments is the key to the game. And every time I would make money, rather than just going and blowing it and buying stuff, I would reinvest that money back into the business. I would upgrade my tools. I would upgrade my knowledge. I would invest in other courses. And every time I would invest in myself, I would have newer ideas to grow the business. And that's how I've compounded my business from the start and reached over 10,000 plus customers. So I hope this video has given you some clarity in terms of investments. I hope this has given you clarity in terms of how to approach the game. And this is a game where you have to work on your own mindset about this, and you got to look at everything as an investment, not as an expense for it to work. Because if you have an employee mindset, everything will seem like an expense. If you have a business owner mindset, everything will be an investment. And you'll have to do whatever it takes to make things happen. And just to recap, if you don't have much money right now, you got to put more time into building that business and more time into marketing. If you have the cash flow right now, if you have some buffers, then you can save that time by putting money into advertising and scaling it up and upgrading your tools and moving much faster on the fast track. Okay, so if you want to learn this inside my community, I would love to invite you to be a part of my community. Go to sidz.co, sids.co/course, COURSE course. Go and buy my course. Go and see all the success stories on that page and see all the products that you're going to be getting. I have a special offer over there. Pick it up. And I would love to serve you and support you inside my community. Okay. Wish you all the best. And may you build a successful digital business and take it to multiple millions in the coming years. All the best.